sorry?
3 years.
2 or 3. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is, are we going to say federations must get their norms in, and if they don't do it by next July, they've lost them?
Yes.
I believe that the problem we have is that with the old norms that we cannot control with the computer, we can really control the norms that appeared after 1st of July 2005. So we have the 2 more recent regulations, title regulations. Before this time, it becomes more difficult. We do not have full details of the tournament, only the summary, and we have also category norms, and these are more difficult to control. If we have a limit for registration, we must, I suggest that it must be before 1st of July 2005. Everything that comes after it can be easily controlled. That's my opinion.
Anil.
Maybe I'm mistaken, but wasn't this done some years ago?
Yeah, Miko been discussed.
I think there were sent out instructions to the federations to register norms before.
Can you remember what date? Yes, Stuart?
Well, it's already been said many times, but it's never been applied.
We never.
We will apply it.
Yeah.
All right.
In the past, it hasn't.
I was suggesting actually, let's say, give it an easy number, 2010. All norms before 1st January 2011, very easy to remember, must be registered by, let's say, 1st July 2013, otherwise they will be invalid. Too short?
You will check that. So.
Christian, shake your head, sorry.
It is very difficult. I have experienced that many players come up with 3 norms if they have 3. I don't know the first 2. It's extremely in that way that they ask me, why I have 3 norms, why don't I get the title? And I have to tell them, please give me your norms, and we make an application. It is always mainly the 3rd norm who starts this process. And then I see some other norms from past. These are the norms before 2000 are quite rarely. But after 2000, there are some norms. And then when the database was installed, I heard about. I have sent this at the time a CD with maybe 250 norms, and I have never heard about. In the last month, I have heard there is a database, and I have delivered another 300 norms to the database. Now I'm up to date. That means that FIDE has the norms I have, but there are many other norms in the public I don't know.
Totally.
This was one of the reasons that Miko was not so keen on following this up, because he said in some cases it was published on the website, it was not vetted, not checked, and the players assumed it was okay because FIDE published it. That's why he was
we are not publishing them.
Yes, but the norms which are stored are just stored, they are not checked. If we check all the players, if the norms were stored, expect that they are checked, and they are okay. They get the information whether it's okay or not. That means we have to do double of work, because the norms which never lead to a title, we need not to check. So what to do with this norm? It's just the storage. If you have a norm from 1995, you do not check it, it's the same as if the player would have it.
Siva.
Once a norm is achieved, the arbiter is supposed to send copies to multiple people, and one of them is FIDE. Send it into FIDE, let them store it, let them check it, let them publish it. I think those norms should be all published.
That's starting now.
We are starting that now. A requirement. Bernard?
to check all these norms which are with FIDE and which will come in the next few months. How many months
No,
do we need?
no, but we don't have to check them. What we are saying is,
May I finish?
Yeah.
I prefer to publish it on FIDE Web and to have a note on the website, all these norms are not checked.
oh yes,
It says that down.
Yeah,
The
that's it.
display,
now.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
what
so
is
we are
this?
collecting, yes?
We are only collecting.
Yeah,
What
what do
is
you want
the
to say
sense of
something?
this?
Go ahead,
Walter, you want to
Frank.
say something just now, no? So, what is the date? What is the last date? What year do you want? 2005 or 2011? January. 2005?
Yeah.
Okay, 2005. What date? Before
First of
31st?
1st of July.
Sometimes I don't even get it.
1st July 2005.
It's
Okay,
the date
consistent.
that the Dresden regulations became
Okay.
to effect, came to
Yeah.
effect.
1st July.
What about older norms?
Before 1st July 2005, they should be registered.
Until when?
July.
Until 1st July 2012.
2013.
No, sorry.
Until
That's
It's
Tromso.
already.
That's a big communication problem.
Until Tromso.
Huh?
That's a
Until
big
Tromso.
Until Tromso? Okay,
First
no
of
problem.
July. Not 1st of August or 1st of July
No.
2014.
Right?
Give
No.
it 2 years.
2 years? No, makes no sense.
1 year should be.
1 year should be enough.
if we give them 2 years, they
Only
will
to
do nothing.
upload the norms. To scan it and to send it to FIDE.
Okay, 13 or 14 now?
13.
13. Okay.
13. July 13.
Before 1st July 2005 until 1st July 2013. To be registered by 1 July 2013. Thank you. Let's go on.
Okay, old ratings and Olympiad results. What this is about is direct titles for FMs, that sort of thing. FIDE does not have perfect historical information. I gather that things were lost during moves from offices, and as far as I'm concerned, I look at the Olymp-based site, and that's good enough for me. I know there are a few mistakes on it, but what else are we supposed to do? We say, sorry, that's not good enough, our information is not good enough, so you can't have it. And that seems rather unfair. Also, there are old informatas, people send in photocopies of that. My opinion is we're not experiencing massive fraud here. People are just doing their best to find old information. So my recommendation is, unless there is a reason to doubt it, we accept that.
Why not we also put a deadline to this? Give them until 1st July 2013 to claim this title.
That's a good idea.
From Kalparka.
Any time, no problem, until the first Olympiad.
So now this time we really must write to the federations,
Yes.
which we said we would last time and didn't do it. So yes,
This means also those old ratings, the direct award of 2205, you mean?
well, I'm
No.
thinking CMs and
No,
FMs.
only titles, okay? Only
Yeah.
titles.
Oh, you can't get your rating anymore.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Oh, that was easy. Transgender cases. It had to happen. There has been a federation has written in to say, we have this lady who used to be a man. Can she include results she earned as a man towards W titles? I don't know.
I think that we need the advice of the medical commission and the ethics commission for this, because in CAS we have other cases from others, similar cases from other sports about this.
Is that right? Okay.
You are not volunteering for the
No, I'm
check
not
up.
volunteering. I have more serious things to
May I
do.
just point out something? We had a practice that regulations applying at that time applied at that time. So
by the prevailing.
Yeah, if he was a man at that time, he followed the man at that time.
It seems sensible.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right, we now move on to the tricky business. Changes to the title regulations. Now, a few of these Walter and Anna were looking at with me, but most of them haven't even been discussed. So, the main points, some of these are very important. 115 is consistent with the changes to rating of long tournaments, so that I think is not a problem. 116 we discussed earlier, that the arbiter must be on site. It's noted that some competitions won't like that.
Wait, can you scroll back up on that one?
Certainly.
Did you say we did agree that the arbiter must be on site
Yes,
for a
we
title
did.
norm tournament?
We did agree, yes.
Okay.
If you want to make a fuss, I guess the General Assembly is the place to do it.
No. I thought we had gone the other way on that.
Oh, did you? Well, that's. Does anyone else think that? Okay.
I think you skipped past the time limits there.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
might be a point. we have to
Sorry.
discuss.
Yes. Right. Time limits. Let's.
Everything's deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's back.
Subliminal ways.
Right. Time limits. I count. Bartek sent quite a long note to all members of the commission. Again, if I can say one thing and then be quiet, it seems to me that this rule has led to nothing but trouble. The players do not like it, the organisers don't like it, it causes us headaches, and I personally do not understand why it's there.
All of that?
Okay, so are we saying that for title regulations, the fastest time limit of 90 minutes and 30 seconds in agreement is sufficient? Are you suggesting that? Or?
I'm suggesting that if it's good for rating strong tournaments, fair
You
enough.
see, we are talking about title regulations. We are not talking about the World Championship cycle. Right?
Okay, I talked to Zvan
Yes,
earlier.
Sivan first, Sivan, then Walter, and then.
I'll get Walter first, and then I'll go after him.
Okay.
Because we've talked.
We talked on something, and he said the base time control though should be 90 minutes. Because suppose you had game in 1, increment 2 minutes. That would still get you to 2 hours. So therefore he said the base time control has to be at least minimum 90 minutes.
We should have a minimum think time like we do for rating purposes. We should have it for the title purposes, because you don't want game 5 with the 2-minute increments to give you 120.
Oh, but hold on. This has to be rated, so
That's legal.
I understand that, but the minimum time control for anyone over 2,200 is 120-minute think time
Yes.
per person.
Right.
I can get to that
Oh, no,
using game
yeah.
5 with the 2-minute increment.
But you're suggesting really a change to the rating regulations because
No,
why
I'm
not?
not. I'm not. I'm saying what I'm saying is to be a little bit specific, not like this ridiculous specific, of saying if you're using an increment of 30 seconds, which is the standard one, 90-minute base time. If you're not using an increment and you're using delay or Bronstein of 5 seconds, which is very common like in the US, minimum think time of 120 minutes. There's a difference there.
So, in other words, minimum thinking time must be 2 hours, assuming the game lasts 60 moves.
Correct.
Yes?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Right? You can
No.
improve on this English.
It has to be tweaked, because if you say that, then you'll have game 5 with the 2-minute increments.
Yeah, but I think we should get rid of that anyway.
Get rid of what?
What you just said.
You
It's
can't
true.
unless you put a specific control in place around that.
I do it in the rating regulations, but anyway, understood.
Werner?
In the rating regulations, we have a minimum playing time of 2 hours, as Stefan pointed out. For the title, in my opinion, the minimum should be 90 minutes for 40 moves plus 30 minutes. This should be the minimum for the title tournament. Organizers who are ready to organize a title tournament, they shouldn't use the very low time limit of 90 minutes only.
90 minutes plus 7.
Which one are you talking
What,
about?
what,
90
Werner?
minutes plus, for 40 moves plus 30 minutes.
Yes.
Or a longer time period.
What Werner is suggesting is that in the time control for title tournaments, there must be a first time control where there must be a specified number of moves.
Yes.
Right?
This
So
is
at least we give the title tournaments greater weight.
And don't have a list of
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 time limits.
And
Now, I'm worried about the effect this has on the many title tournaments that run 2 rounds per day. I mean, do we really want to kill those?
No, you can
No,
have
it's possible.
That's
I mean, you get very long.
It's an extra hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 or
Easily-
5
two,
hours.
extra 2 hours.
It's
Extra
an
2
extra,
hours
it's an
per
extra
day.
2 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
that's
it's approximately 5 hours per session or something like that. I'm in favor of this. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So we are.
Now, then the question from the WCO will come. Although just now we said that we are talking about title tournaments, but we are not talking about World Championship cycle. Then the WCO will say that you are awarding direct titles, like for example the Zonas, the World Cup, which is based on World Championship time control, which should be uniform at all the stages. What is then our argument?
not everyone competes in that cycle. 99% of the playing population isn't in that cycle.
And it's not uniform anyway, is it? You play all kinds of time
Bartek is trying to
control.
say that we should be uniform. No?
I don't know what he's saying.
No, I'm just throwing out this question just.
No, I think he. No, Bartek's point, which I think is not our problem, is about the 2 different 7-hour time controls.
Yeah.
And he's done a questionnaire which the top players prefer. I don't think that troubles
Okay,
us.
okay, thank you. Ooh la la, time control is really.
So what's going in here now?
So what's going to be the wording? Yes.
For type and Moses must be one, a minimum such control. Minimum time for type
You can sit down and work this out.
Just for the record,
Alright.
I don't agree actually. I think we should keep the first one.
Okay,
No.
we cut the discussion short. Those in favor of retaining this without specifying minimum number of moves, raise your hands.
Sorry,
Which one?
which one?
Raise with no specific number of moves, 19
With the
90,
first
30.
line.
with the increment,
The idea is the first
Without time control.
without
Say,
these
wait,
40 moves.
mandatory time control or no mandatory time control?
No mandatory.
No, just a minimum.
I don't understand.
90
If
plus
the
10,
90
that's-
minutes with 30 seconds cumulative is included?
Yes, increment.
Okay.
Those in favor of keeping this?
No, which way?
90,
Say-
30.
2,
say
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those in favor of putting a specified number of moves for the first time control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we keep
90,
this.
30.
Okay? So we keep it
As it is.
as it is. Then we don't have to work so hard. Alright, let's move.
Okay, Bartek will be unhappy.
Okay, Bartek can be unhappy.
Sorry,
These
Mr.
are
Chairman.
people already.
And for mechanical clocks,
Wow.
we still have.
Mechanical clock, we can have.
Currently, we
6
cannot
hours.
delete it.
2
Maybe in 4 years, we can delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, mechanical still there?
Game 2
It
hours
means
for
we-
5
we-
seconds.
Then we have two hours
14 people is 13, the rest of the
Yeah,
game.
that's the old rule.
That's big island.
Okay. But
Why-
what is the actual thing that the rules will say? I think we're a bit confused now.
They're doing the same thing.
Yeah, so you can,
No, that's
maybe you
what
should
my
keep the line if
That's what
it's,
they said.
if there's no increment, 40 moves in 2 hours, followed by 30 minutes for the rest of the moves. So if you're playing with a mechanical clock, you have to play 5 hours. That seems,
Why?
we're going back to the, that's
With
what the old
electronic
rules were.
clocks, we have only 90 minutes, and now we have 2.5 hours. Why?
No, it's the same.
No, Nancy.
No, but
Let's go
again,
back to the
Werner, you
old-
want the shorter one because we have it with the digital, so we should have it with that camera to be consistent.
All right.
To be consistent.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like to have the short
No, but we
one.
should at least be consistent.
But
with
we
it.
should be consistent.
Yeah,
This
I-
this
okay.
this is
So you're
without
right.
increment,
In
and
1.5
this is the
hours.
fastest. Yes.
Yeah,
This
it's the
is
same
5
like-
hours.
So
It's
4
the same
hours,
like
and
the
1.5
Netflix.
hours.
And
But
this
here we
5
have
hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours. Then drop the extra
Why?
30 minutes. Just say
No, no, no,
2
no,
hour
no.
game, 2 hours.
We can shorten here, but we have always 30 seconds per move. But we cannot stop the game like in mechanical clock, you know. Because sometimes it is 100 moves, you can get 100 minutes more. It's clear.
So we keep this and we keep this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
You need to put in there that delay is allowed. Or
yeah.
bronze
You
steamboat.
don't have to.
Yes,
That's
I
you.
think you would,
Yes,
you
we
would
do.
want
Oh,
it.
we absolutely do.
We have-
We need to have some more time controls for with 5-second delay or increment.
We have 3 time controls with fixed time. I think we can, if we want to delete some, we could delete the third one.
That's what we change it with delay, with the delay mode.
No. 40 moves, 2 hours, followed by 20 moves, and 1 hour, followed by 30
The
moves.
last one, the last
The
one.
last one.
Last one.
This won't go down.
The last one.
No, keep going down.
Now.
Very loud.
Yeah. We could delete that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
not,
yeah.
this is not usual.
No,
Of
yeah.
course.
And if they play it, then they should use delay mode.
Delay mode.
Additional mode.
Okay.
I don't understand why we
But
limit.
the most tournaments with old wooden clocks use the first two.
Yes.
First two, at least 30 minutes or 60 minutes for the rest.
All right. We accept.
Yes. To remove the last one.
One
Okay.
comment.
Last two comments.
Okay.
Right.
I thought the purpose was to make it simple without all those specific time rates of play, 90 plus 30, or game in 2 hours. Now, game in 2 hours does include, if that is the minimum, it does include with delay.
Yeah.
So that is simple enough. By definition, 30 seconds cumulative equates to that extra 30 minutes per player in 60 moves.
Last. You are last. Okay. Yes.
No?
Okay.
I don't think we need anything for delay mode. Delay mode has to have our fixed minimum playing times. It's not 30 seconds additional.
Means zero.
Then then the language needs to say that these are the minimums.
Well,
And at
yeah.
that point, we only need, no, right
Yeah,
now,
you need
these aren't the
120
minimums.
minutes.
What do you
Simply.
need?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I'm saying is the first one and the fourth one are the only ones that we need to keep, because these are the minimums. If
Yeah.
you want to go longer,
Yes,
you can go
yes,
longer.
This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's
I
good.
have
Okay.
not
If you
noticed
use
the
delay mode,
All
you
right.
need 120 minutes.
All right.
Which
Thank
is
you.
more than
Let's move.
120
Let's move.
minutes.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Sorry, I've got this completely wrong. These are now to be minimums, and if you want to have longer than that, you can.
You can.
Yes.
No problem.
I had not understood that.
Right.
So, another point, does everyone in the tournament have to play to the same time control?
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah.
Touching that one.
So we don't accept American tournaments?
No. First of all, we would prefer it to be so, right? Then we move on from that discussion. Because we've had tournaments in India, which I've even been in charge myself, where we had some people playing with cumulative and some people playing with mechanical clock. I didn't like it,
You can't do anything about
but
that.
I could, I could have insisted we don't play with cumulative mode at all. Yes? Yes. And you could do that in the United States. You don't have enough clocks with the time control, then you have to use...
I think laws of chess. All right, players should be playing in the same conditions.
Absolutely.
Right.
And
Let's
how
move
far
on.
we should go with that?
Yeah.
Yes, we haven't really answered it, but
Yeah, same conditions, so the time control must be the same.
Well, we haven't actually agreed that. We're discussing it.
Huh? But it's laws of chess, no?
No.
I think
Nothing.
I
nothing
wouldn't
about
go
it.
down that route. I would not go down that route, Ignatius, because you're either forcing us to move backwards in time, or you're forcing some people to make an investment and go buy clocks that they may not want to spend the money on. I don't think that level of detail or minutia we need to get into. I think it's getting well too down into micromanaging.
No, if you are playing with digital clocks and mechanical clocks, then naturally you set your digital clocks to be mechanical mode.
Yeah.
So same time control.
That's a natural thing
Yes.
to do.
That's
There's nothing
no,
in the
that's
law-
unnatural.
Can you
That's
put-
unnatural.
Can you put the delay though for the people who do have the digital? Or you want to,
well, it's being said everyone must play to the same time
yes,
control.
but you know, I just don't, definitely don't prefer that.
They don't even know it's 7 o'clock.
Because we still have digital, we still have analog. Not everybody, almost everybody, but not yet. We're not fully analog, fully digital.
So what do you, I mean, the ones with digital play with delay, and then you have mechanical for the rest.
Yes, sir.
Or
Well, no,
increment.
well, or they
Or
play an
increment.
increment like the
But-
World Open. The Open
Okay,
section
he
is
forced
40-90.
He forced it because of these rules.
Okay, what else?
Just one example, World Championship under 20 in Goa. Last round we played with 10 mechanical clock with time control, half an hour plus 30 seconds for move. Because a lot of digital clock were broke. And just after one game finished, we changed and plus this. There wasn't no any way to...
Christian, you wanted to say something?
I'm sorry, maybe I'm getting old and stupid, but then I have no overview which time controls are allowed now. Can we please go one by one and say yes or no? I have no overview. It was quite a little bit chaotic
So can we first finish this particular discussion?
at first.
Okay.
90 minutes and 30 second cumulative. Yes
Okay.
or no?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No?
Huh? Sorry.
Why?
What?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
of course.
Yes.
All
But
yes.
but this is enough to be in the regulation.
This is the minimum.
This is
So
the
all
minimum.
yes.
But you can go more.
And that's
This-
the other minimum.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the
And
other
the third one, 40 moves?
They're allowed as well,
Yes.
but it's
They're all
minimum
valid.
think
Okay,
time.
yes.
Because we
It's
just defined the
slower.
minimum.
Okay.
The first one in both sides is a minimum sufficient.
Okay, so coming back to these two time controls, different time controls. Those who allow these kind of situations to happen, where you use two different time modes in the same tournament, raise your hand.
You've changed your mind.
Nobody?
Of course,
no,
so
I don't know.
Yes. Well, everyone raise your hand.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't know, and I'd like to discuss it more. I'd like to consider a way in which we encourage the move towards uniformity as quickly as possible within our regulations in some way. I'm willing to postpone it for a bit, but I'm not willing for it to carry on and we have the same discussion in 4 years' time.
Maybe what I'd like to propose from now until, what's the next time we can change rules again? 2016, right? So between now and then, we'll see how far we've gotten on the analog to digital movement.
That's a possibility. But another one we could say by the 1st of July 2015, it must be like that. We've said the same thing with the USCF rules going to the FIDE laws. So we could make it 2 years rather than 4 years. I just think it deserves discussion before we vote.
Those who feel that there shouldn't be discussion and there should be only be one time mode, raise your hands. one time mode.
In
So
one tournament.
in one same tournament, of course.
The same.
One time in one
One
tournament.
time control, one time mode.
One time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Those who think that we can live with two time controls